Hi everyone, Founder Dave here of CollectorCarCanada.ca with another episode of our podcast. Today we're going to talk about the 2021 Chevy Corvette Stingray Convertible 3LT trim and Z51 package, which has been modified both for cosmetics and performance, available on our Buy It Now lot. The price there is $130,000 plus buyer premium. After the dust settles with the BP, it's just over $136,000. First things first, let's talk about the modifications to this car. As I say, they're both cosmetic and performance driven in nature. Let's start with the performance stuff. The Paragon Performance exhaust comes with carbon fiber tips. That's about a $5,500 upgrade. There's an upgraded wheel and tire package. So this car would have been delivered new with 19s up front and 20s on the rear. There's now a set of Vossen HF7 staggered wheels, 20 inches up front and 21 in the rear. Skinned in Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, and those are 12 inches wide in the rear, 9 inches up front. The tire sizes are 245/30 in the front and 325/25 in the rear. So always more interesting for a performance car like this to have bigger wheels, a wider contact patch. But the really interesting thing, and where the seller, I would suggest, really got it right with this setup, is that the wheels are flush with the profile of the car. Look around at any C8 you'd find, so any Corvette that's 2020 model year or newer, and you're going to find that the wheels, if they're still stock, are a bit recessed from the outside of the car. So as I say, I really feel like the owner of this car got it right with this sizing choice, and the look of the wheels. Black, given the black trim on the car, it is a real winner. Firming things up, given the bigger diameter of the wheels, there's a Paragon Performance set of lowering springs. Those were worth $1,200. I think I left out the cost of the wheel and tire upgrade in and around $7,400. And as you'd need with a car like this, you'd need lift pucks. They're about $300 upgrade, again by Paragon Performance. So on the cosmetic side, the seller of this car really believes the car has an unfinished look to it coming out of the factory, and installed a Maxton Performance body kit. So it's a 4-piece kit on all four sides. There's a skirt package color matched in black. The GM Dark Carbon Flash black trim that's on the car, and this kit's a $5,500 upgrade in itself. As well, there are ACS Composites Carbon Flash winglets, a cost of $900. So the total cost of these modifications is in and around $20,800, and that's to be considered with the MSRP. We do have the window sticker on our listing at CollectorCarCanada.ca, lot number 172. The MSRP on that sticker is just short of $118,000. So the big news, I guess, on the C8 Corvettes, which were released for the 2020 model year, is that, well, there's lots of big news. Just take a look at this car, and it looks more like an exotic, like maybe a Ferrari or a McLaren, that style of car, like a hypercar or supercar, more so than a traditional Corvette. But the big news performance-wise is that the engine is mounted midship. 2020 marked the first year for a Corvette to have an engine anywhere but the front. So the 6.2 liter LT2 V8 was good for 495 horsepower coming out of the factory, and it being mounted midship, of course, the car's a lot better balanced. With this exhaust package, the seller, who's a licensed technician, And I would submit, you've heard me say this before, that is a good person to buy from, especially with modifications like this car sports. But that licensed tech, he figures that exhaust is worth another 20 horsepower. So not a huge gain on a percentage basis, but let's say 515 or 520 horsepower, in and around that. There's an 8-speed dual clutch automatic transaxle. So yeah, let's face it, the computers that are installed in today's supercars shift gears more quickly than any human being can. This car is colored in the color called torch red. It's a really bright red, and on the inside it's black and gray. As I mentioned in the opening, this is the 3LT trim. So the top trim, there's 1LT, 2LT, 3LT. This one's a 3LT, and it comes with the Z51 performance package, and that's before considering any of the modifications, of course. So just taking a look at our listing here, there are some really neat features about this car. I should add that on our listing, collectorcarcanada.ca, and as I say, this is lot number 172. We do have a paragraph form listing, as we always do. Being that this car is 1981 or newer, we have a Carfax on the listing. Uneventful Carfax, clean Carfax for this car. I think we have about 15 videos or so, and our photographer really went wild with the photos for this car. There are almost 300 photos, so lots and lots and lots of details on our listing. I really encourage you to take a look at it. collectorcarcanada.ca on our Buy It Now lot. This is lot number 172. And another item this car comes with, as you might expect, is an Ontario Safety Standards certificate. So if you're an Ontario buyer, don't worry about having to get a safety. It's you pays your money, you goes to the ministry, pay your sales tax, and you got license plates ready to go. So yeah, the car is equipped with the 3LT and the Z51. It's got a stock front axle lift system. A really neat a feature of this, right from the factory from GM on this trim, is it's connected to the GPS. So the car rides quite low, as you'll see in the video, as you'll notice in the video and our photos. But this car is so advanced that if you've got a high curb on your driveway, you program this car to recognize it's getting close to home, and the car raises itself up automatically so that you don't have to worry about bottoming out, going up your own curb. Some other neat performance systems, magnetic selective ride control, and on the inside, the adjustable GT2 bucket seats are heated and ventilated with full power, as you might expect. And another interesting thing about this listing is that technically the seller has leased this car. So this car will be purchased from the leasing company, which is a registered dealer. So that affords the purchaser some protections. Another nice side benefit of purchasing directly from the leasing company is that it will look at interesting trades. My experience with this leasing company is they like something probably 5 years or newer, and something that's pretty premium in terms of trade. But it'll, of course, also get you the big HST savings if you're in Canada, HST, GST savings if you're in Canada. Pay that tax only on the difference between the cost of the car and your trade. And this registered dealer seller also offers financing. So you can buy this car on payments instead of having to come up with all the cash up front. A nice feature, we've got a picture of the car with the trophy in our gallery, but this car was awarded a Best in Show last year in 2023 at a car show in Binbrook, which I know to be certainly a car mecca in Southern Ontario. So a little bit more about this C8 that was released in 2020. It really did come to a grand reception, and this was a hard, difficult car to buy, to get your hands on, that is. Certainly the pandemic combined with the rabid Corvette fans wanting to get their hands on the C8. So for For a couple of years after release, these were being sold for much higher than MSRP, both by dealerships and on the used market. So this one is a convertible. You might not realize it with the top up unless you look really closely to find the openings or the cracks, I guess that we call them, in the hardtop roof. But there's a power retractable hardtop with remote activation. The remote is only good for the down. If you want to bring it up, you got to be inside the car. We do have a video showing off the action of the roof going up and down seamlessly. This car feels like a new car to me, despite it being a 2021. LED headlights, power folding carbon side mirrors, front and rear cameras, and a rear park assist sensor, backup sensor system. It's got the quad exhaust outlets, again with the Paragon exhaust upgrade. There's also an uninstalled high wing rear spoiler included with this package. It's not installed on the car, as I say, so you don't see it in the photos, but that comes with the car new in the box. So those, I think I detailed those wheels, 20 inch up front, 21s in the rear. The big difference, certainly aesthetically, with these wheels is that the side profile of the wheel and tire lines up with the side profile of the car, unlike the recessed look you'd see on a stock C8. There's the front suspension lift system, magnetic selective ride control, a GM patented system for ride control. With the GPS, as I say, the system can learn the frequently visited destinations of yours where there's a big curb and it needs to raise up the suspension to preclude the bottoming out of the car going up a curb. Inside, there's the power ventilated, heated and cooled GT2 buckets. They're upholstered in black and gray, a perforated suede microfiber upholstery. There's even still the factory protective plastic on the door sill insignia. So there are items of this car that still look brand new from the day it was delivered by the GM dealer up in Barrie. 8-inch touchscreen, heads-up display, rear cross traffic alert, and there's blind spot monitoring, as you might expect. This is a bells and whistles car. Carbon fiber interior trim with a keyless entry, 14 speakers in the Bose sound system, dual zone HVAC, automatic climate control, and of course cruise. It's a special order interior, so I won't call it one of a kind, but it's a little different from a car that would have been bought out of dealer inventory. So again, a special order car. That steering wheel that is not round, it's got a real sporty F1 look to it. It's sort of a rounded hexagon. It's covered in suede microfiber, and as you might expect, it's got heat in it, paddle shifters, and in behind it is a 12-inch configurable digital instrument cluster, central tack, and of course readouts for speed, oil pressure, engine temp, and other data that, as I say, is adjustable. The Stingray logo is back, which is neat. The Stingray name disappeared for several generations of Corvette. It returned with C7, and the C8 continues on the legend. So just to look at the videos we have on the listing, we've got videos of highway entry, so you can see the car accelerating. You can see it's accelerating through traffic in the city, some cruising, some city acceleration. We illustrate all the drive modes, so the suspension and pickup are adjustable by the driver. And of course, I think I mentioned we've got some top operation videos, both the roof opening and closing. We've got walk around videos, one touch window videos. The rear window also goes up and down. We illustrate that. There's a startup video, a video of the suspension lifting and lowering, hard braking, and actually there are a couple of walk around videos. And as I scroll through the photos, again, we got up to 264 photos of this car. So our typical exterior, interior, cargo areas, underside. Please take a look at the underside photos. They start at 238 through looks like 248. So 11 photos, and the darn car looks brand new. Correction on that. The underside photos start at 240. So 240 through 248. So 9 photos of the underside. It really does look brand new. And as you'd expect, there's documentation to go with this car. Dealer servicing is really only consisted of oil changes, but they've been done at the dealer, and the owner's manual is in its original black leather attaché with the Corvette logo, checkered flag logo, embossed on the attaché. There, as well as the service records, there are a few brand new in box parts that come with the car, just for accessories. Parts isn't the right word. Accessories is a better word. And those will be found in the rear trunk of the car. So again, this video has been about our modified 6,000 kilometer 2021 Chevy Corvette Stingray convertible, 3LT trim with Z51 package from the factory with extensive performance and cosmetic modifications. Find it at collectorcarcanada.ca on our Buy It Now lot. It's lot number 172. Thanks for watching. See you on our next podcast.